Battle control initialized.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Red Alert Global League Season 9 Minions Round 4. In the upper left-hand corner, we have Duke Bones playing as Ukraine. And in the lower right-hand corner, we have Zaqzorn playing as Russia. Let's go to the production tab. This is actually a match that I've been looking forward to for a while. Duke Bones joined the academy after me, and he's gotten a lot better since he's joined. Zaqzorn is one of those players who's very adaptive in his play, and I like to see what he comes up with because he never seems to play the same build order twice. So, on this map, tiered straight, we have a total of 2 oil derricks and lots of room for mistakes. Meaning, if you fall back and go for those ore patches early on, well, you're gonna probably end up regretting it. Duke Bones going War Factory first, and with a flame tower in his pocket. Zaqzorn coming up with a rifleman, going to scout out the base and see what Duke Bones is up to. If he sees that he doesn't have 2 refineries out, he can pretty well assume that Zaqzorn is going War Factory first. There's a rifleman of Zaqzorn getting taken out by Duke Bones' infantry right there. And Duke Bones' power plant under attack. Duke Bones is not jumping the gun on the flame tower, though. He's keeping that ready and lines up a flak truck. Both players with 1 oil derrick, and Zaqzorn on 2 harvesters with a slight income advantage. And mining that 1 ore patch, that's a little risky. Hopefully he moves it out to the second one as well. These ore patches, I've seen them get contested all the time because they're right in the path of working your way around the base. Range advantage from the flak truck, poking away at some of the troops and not taking any of them out, though. Oh, there's one. Duke Bones is going to go check out. Oh, he's going to sit right there on the ore patch and see if Zaqzorn is going to head over that way. Both players a little low on cash at the moment, and Duke Bones 20 seconds until his service depot hits the floor. Zaqzorn sells off a refinery for the extra cash and has got another one queued up. Gonna go for the lower ore field over here, and he's got a sizable force out at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. $4,200 army value, more than double that of Duke Bones. Duke Bones has still got that flame tower in his pocket, though. And now he's working on a heavy tank. Duke Bones on 4 harvesters now. Big income advantage. But those rocket troopers are getting poked out. That's unfortunate. Moves in. Loses $900 worth of rocket troopers. Oh my goodness. Duke Bones losing a flame tower and a flak truck. And his barracks is camped. He's still cranking out troops, though. 21 actions per minute from Zaqzorn. 17.2 from Duke Bones. And another flame tower out. Isn't enough to save the barracks? I don't think so. Duke Bones loses his only barracks. 10 seconds. Now 10 seconds until his first expansion MCV hits the field. And the heavy tank doing a great job of absorbing fire, but lets the flak truck get away. Both players on 5 harvesters, and Zaqzorn already up to 3 barracks. He's floating 4K, and he's got the tap wide open. Cranking out troops. Zaqzorn out with his service depot at 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Oh, and Duke Bones, he did what I don't like. I don't like to see people move back like that, because you're really giving up a lot of map control. Zaqzorn is going to come out with his MCV and just claim this area for himself. I guess Duke Bones needs the extra cash. Zaqzorn on 6 harvesters to Duke Bones is 5. Three heavy tanks on the field from Duke Bones. And he's going to start working his way around the north side. Looks like Zaqzorn's going to the south side. And wait a minute. Okay, so Zaqzorn moved out his original MCV. And he's got another MCV in production. And all that means is that his building tab was interrupted for a little while, so it's going to be a bit until he gets out a another eco expansion. That's an interesting move. Duke Bones moving out his expansion MCV all the way from the back of the field, and comes out with an eco expansion in 20 seconds. Still cranking out heavy tanks. 5 heavy tanks on the field for Duke Bones. Players even in actions per minute. Zaqzorn's moving his expansion MCV again. No, that's his original MCV. That's his expansion MCV that just came out. And low power for Zaqzorn. There, he restores it. Seven harvesters for each player. And Duke Bones breaks 10,000 income at 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Mining from 4 different ore patches right now. But Zaqzorn has got a big army brewing on the south side, and Duke Bones just doesn't have an answer for it over there. Duke Bones is ready to move in on Zaqzorn's main. Taking out those scouts. And Zaqzorn answers with an attack on the ore field, drives off this harvester. That's going to hurt Duke Bones' income. Zaqzorn nearly broke on cash at 7,500 income to 10,000 from Duke Bones. And that Tesla coil, the Tesla creep as I call it, that is going to be very difficult to counter. Duke Bones is going to have to go radar tech. He has. And he's got more tanks lined up. Oh. And that's an ore truck down for Duke Bones. Down to 6 harvesters. We might be looking at a base trade here, folks. This is a good force, and Zaqzorn doesn't have an answer for it over here. Duke Bones doesn't have an answer for this over here. But Duke Bones is on radar tech, and he's about to have an aircraft come out. But he really needs a V2. So that MCV is going to get routed. And Duke Bones basically moving production to his expansion. And we're looking at a full-on base trade here. Duke Bones doing some good scouting with that aircraft. And that aircraft is just kind of circling around. Both players get away with their MCVs. I believe he did. Yep, there it is. And 12,000 army value on the field from Duke Bones, 8,900 from Zaqzorn. But you wouldn't know it from looking at the field. Zaqzorn's army is much more mobile. It's comprised completely of troops. That's why I'm saying that. Duke Bones really needs to get a V2 on the field. Deal pretty swiftly with that infantry. And Duke Bones not continuing the rampage. Zaqzorn moving out into Duke Bones' original spawn location. And Duke Bones' harvesters are under fire. That's another harvester down. 5 harvesters for Duke Bones, down to 6,000 income to Zaqzorn's 10,000. And Duke Bones is going to replace his war factory. Zaqzorn is replacing his... Excuse me, I had that backwards. Duke Bones replaced his service depot. And there's the V2, finding a good hit before it gets destroyed. Duke Bones on low power. No way to restore it. And he manages to save that Tesla coil. And several heavy tanks got taken out here. I wonder what happened there. Zaqzorn about to come out with a armored personnel carrier. That's all he's able to produce right now. Not replacing his service depot. And that aircraft is just circling in an empty location. Might do better to bring it back here and give your troops some line of sight. Zaqzorn taking over the map. One location at a time. Duke Bones out with a total of 2 aircraft now. And I think he's got pretty good eyes on the field, but I'd like to see this one utilized a bit more. $8,000 income for Zaqzorn on 8 harvesters. 6,400 income for Duke Bones on 6 harvesters and both of the oil derricks. Takes out the APC, those rocket troops, but doesn't keep pulling them back and loses 4 rocket troopers. Counterattack from Duke Bones, going to reclaim his original location. And he stays right there. He's going to get that harvester. Very good. But he doesn't have an answer for this. And he should pull that back. He doesn't. And the V2 only gets off 1 shot. He's going to lose his... Yeah, he's going to lose all his production again. Loses the war factory and about to lose the service depot as well. Excuse me. Duke Bones recaptures his original base location, but might lose his expansion to a infantry mob. Doesn't take out all the troops back at base. Flamers on their way. And is Duke going to move this MCV in time? It doesn't look like it. Flamer's going to work on the airfield. Flame tower out from Duke Bones, but it's not enough. Loses his second to last MCV. And on low power once again. Duke Bones almost even on income. Both players floating nearly 10,000. Zaqzorn floating 11,000. Duke Bones floating 9,000. And production has been absolutely decimated. Not so much the economy, but both players are without a war factory. Zaqzorn's war factory about to hit field in... Okay, Duke Bones has got a war factory. And Duke Bones coming out with another V2 rocket launcher. Restores power to his base. And it's got good eyes on the field with those yaks. Moved in with the tanks against rocket troopers, loses 1. And if he pushes with this blob, Duke Bones is just going to wipe that expansion. Combination of aircraft and artillery. Likewise, the yak plane and V2 rocket launcher is always a good combination. V2 has very limited line of sight. Duke Bones replacing his service depot. Doesn't have build radius over there. Ooh. And Duke Bones not trading super well into this. He's got superior mass, but he's losing a lot. That tank is getting stuck in the back. Zaqzorn down to 6 harvesters. Duke Bones also 6 harvesters with 2 derricks. And Duke Bones is going to keep pushing right into this. He's got enough rocket troopers to take it. Zaqzorn moving out his MCV. And now it's time to fall back. Alright, takes out the line of sight advantage. That's good. Let's see what he's got brewing. Gonna replace his ore field. And Duke Bones has got a good shot here. He's got 2 V2 rocket launchers that are just sitting there. He should really move in and contest this ore field. Idle harvester from Duke Bones. And the aircraft gets shot down. No more line of sight advantage. Moving in with a heavily damaged heavy tank. And not moving in north. He's got a big advantage north. Decides to pull back. He's going for a flank. We're at 16 minutes and 22 seconds. Let's take a look at 4 flak trucks on the field from Zaqzorn, adapting to the aircraft of Duke Bones. And Zaqzorn low on cash, behind on income. V2 firing into the tank that's already been killed. Not finding the mark on those troops, but it doesn't matter. Duke Bones is going to hold this. Duke Bones out with another MCV. Going to restore build radius. Maybe expand. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, he's going for another expansion. Duke Bones comes out with a second war factory. And finds the flank on Zaqzorn. Wow. Wipes that army. And moves in on the ore field. Destroys the refinery. And the truck doesn't find any crushes. Oh, lots of flamers coming in. This is going to make quick work of this infantry. Oh, jeez. Zaqzorn trading brilliantly with those flame troopers with the line of sight advantage. And Duke Bones still at double the army value of Zaqzorn. I don't know what he's waiting for. I think he's just a little hesitant to waste his whole army. He's got a lot of aircraft, so that might account for quite a bit of the army value there. He's got a few tanks, though. 24,000 army value from Duke Bones. Good eyes on the field. Trying to put Zaqzorn on low power. Successful, but only for a moment. Zaqzorn quickly rebuilding his power. And those aircraft coming home over a line of rocket troopers. I'd like to see a little bit more micro from Duke Bones. He's got a couple of forces here that he could split up and send some rocket troops over with the V2 and take out these troops right here in that coil. Then attack through the front. Zaqzorn's moving out. And he's got another expansion MCV that he's built. Mammoth tank's about to hit the field from Duke Bones. And here come those V2s. Good line of sight provided by that aircraft. MiGs. MiGs in the party. Taking out that V2 rocket launcher, no problem. More MiGs on the way. And Duke Bones, I don't know if he's got the eco to support all that, but we'll see what he does with it. I wouldn't be surprised if Duke Bones is going to come out with an Iron Curtain. Zaqzorn trading well with those combination of heavy tanks and flame troopers. Line of sight disadvantage for Duke Bones. He keeps advancing into it. Absolutely brutal. Oh, geez. Come on. Line of sight provided by that aircraft and the tanks. Just no contest there. And that one Tesla coil is not nearly going to be enough. He might even lose his tier 3 tech. Gets spotted by the aircraft. And now's his chance, if he ever had one. Tier 3 tech going down, and the power bomb's missing the mark. Well, maybe not. They're going for something else. Power drop coming in. This is going to be spicy. Not the best, but it gets the job done. Two mammoth tanks and looks like 9 heavies. And we might be looking at another base trade. All of this is going to get completely wiped. But quite possibly so is all of this. I would change the stance. If you hit Alt and A with all of those troops selected, they'll just start attacking everything. All that MiG is just flying around in the corner. Yeah, Duke Bones has got a lot of material on the field. $35,000 army value. Wow, good crash from the Yak. And this is all that... Okay, Zaqzorn's got something else down here. That's good. Troops in the back line going after those harvesters. No answer for that from Duke Bones. The Yaks coming in. Possibly going to take out that Tesla coil. Idle aircraft from Duke Bones. And losing ground, Duke Bones. Answering it with a small force, I don't think that's going to be enough. Yep. Duke Bones down to 5 harvesters, 8,000 income, and getting very low on cash. Not enough on the top side to answer for all those flamethrowers. Good line of sight provided by that tank. Flame troopers trading very well against infantry. $38,000 army value from Duke Bones. It's all in aircraft and tanks. And he's got a massive force here, and he's just going to play it slow. Duke Bones going to eco up. Zaqzorn calling it good game at 24 minutes and 43 seconds. 1,374 to 1,113. Let's go to the eco graph. Can't see the whole thing. Both players doing very well to continue expanding and to roll with the punches. and not get too flustered when stuff gets under attack. I saw a couple of oversights, really. I mean, I think this battle could have been over about 6 minutes ago. Once Duke Bones came out with those V2s and the aircraft combination, I think he really had Zaqzorn, but he played it slow. He won the game. That's good. Let's go on to the Army tab. You can see what I mean. Zaqzorn, yeah, he falls behind, and then he's just, you know, he gets decimated a few times. Manages to rebuild a bit, but really can't keep up with Duke Bones' eco. I know I said that this was a mistake, but it ended up being a really good ore patch to mine, because it never got destroyed, and until that power drop towards the end, Duke Bones was able to continue mining from here for just about the entire game. So, there you have it. Game number 1, lasting a full 24 minutes and 43 seconds, going to Duke Bones. On to game number 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Red Alert Global League Season 9 Minions Round 4. In the lower left-hand corner, we have Zaqzorn playing as Ukraine, and in the upper right-hand corner, we have Duke Bones playing as... what did I miss that? Ukraine. Ukraine mirror match. Let's go to the production tab. Zaqzorn with a 1 second lead in production and deployment of his barracks. Questionable placement of that power plant, though. You usually want to give yourself a cell in between for a few reasons. Line of sight, expansion, and also you don't want to box in your MCV in case you have to move it. Total of 5 oil derricks on this map. Oil derricks are going to be super important. And both teams just coming out with a conga line of riflemen to start. See what the build order is. Both players going double ref. I think this is one of those maps that's so big it can really benefit from a War Factory first build. And it can also benefit from multiple engineers. As we saw, I forget whose game that was, but somebody went double engineer and it really worked out well for them. That's the first oil derrick being captured by Duke Bones. Both players on 1 harvester, and that's going to stay pretty even. That stop command from Zaqzorn, keeping his troops spread out. Great line of sight and great map awareness, but not trading super well. And Duke Bones continues to push into that, loses quite a few troops. And keeps his engineer in the back there. That's very good. Still yet to see an engineer from Zaqzorn. We've got 4 grenadiers coming out, though. Wait. Are those... no, I thought those were Grens, but they're just more rifle infantry. That's interesting. 20 seconds until Duke Bones' War Factory comes out, and Zaqzorn is going for a base push. How far is he going to go with this? Let's take a look. All the way across. We saw this in Sinjol versus... who was he playing against? I forget, but it was one of Sinjol's games, I believe. And where did that... oh. Okay, there's the Engie. Unescorted, running all the way back to base. And Zaqzorn still with an empty structure production, but here comes that base push. That is an aggressive push. Right smack in the middle, and Zaqzorn's going to drop a power plant, and he's probably, yeah, defensive structure also. So once he creeps out with that power plant, he's going to put a flame tower right at the end of that. And Duke Bones, totally unaware. Oh, he sees it now. Hello. Duke Bones out with his own flame tower. Not really a line of sight advantage on either side, but massive troop force from Zaqzorn. This was his plan all along. Zaqzorn 26.4 actions per minute, and Duke Bones is going to give up the position and try to save what he can. But boy, this does not look good. Not super great micro from the flak truck there. Moved it within range of the flame tower and then within range of the rifleman. Unnecessary on both counts. Duke Bones with 5 harvesters, but they all got pushed out. So he's going to try to rebuild on the left-hand side of the map. He's got good control of the oil derricks. He's going for 3 of them now, but Zaqzorn has got a foothold right next to his base. Zaqzorn, without a war factory, at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, completely obliterates Duke Bones' base, but the MCV makes it away. And yeah, fences might have helped him. Those harvesters, why are they going all the way back here? They think that they should. Poor stupid harvesters. Okay, good. He micros the harvesters and pulls them back. Duke Bones has got enough cash to rebuild. And even if he didn't, he'd have these oil derricks. Zaqzorn following the harvesters and stops short of the flame tower. Two harvesters going down. One harvester going down. Only one. Zaqzorn finds a flank. And this, to me, looks like it's about over, folks. Massive troop force from Zaqzorn. Goes after the MCV, and the MCV's not getting pulled again. Player's dead even in actions per minute. There's the MCV down. There's a refinery down. There's most of the harvesters out. And Duke Bones fighting until the bitter end. Harvester finds decent crushes. And all Zaqzorn has to do is knock out that barracks. There it goes, folks. Duke Bones, good game at 7 minutes and 14 seconds. 275 to 113. Let's go to the Eco tab. Duke Bones with a huge advantage from minute 3 until all the way until about minute 4.5. Captures quite a few oil derricks and is ready for a regular old macro build, but Zaqzorn comes in with the cheese platter and disturbs those plans completely. Zaqzorn with big army value after about minute 2.5. It's all troops. Yeah, he doesn't even have a war factory out. That was completely all troop play throughout 7 minutes and 15 seconds of gameplay. So that's one to be studied, honestly. I mean, Zaqzorn did good with this base push. He had the MCV there, deployed a power plant, and I thought he was going to put the flame tower at the end of that power plant, but he set down a barracks, which actually I believe survived, and then put the flame tower right smack in the middle of Duke Bones' infantry. So that's what that was right there around minute 3.5. Not a lot that Duke Bones could do once his barracks was taken out over here, except move out and try to regroup. But Zaqzorn was just all over the field with his infantry. And, yeah, took the game. Very good. So, that's the first game going to Duke Bones, second game going to Zaqzorn. Red Alert Global League, Season 9, Minions, Round 4.
Battle control terminated.